Namaste, Queen Yoga Bee here. I want to encourage you to please subscribe to my channel. That's going to keep me motivated to put on more stuff. Today's lesson is going to focus on your core and your arms. So it's called Finding Your Edge in Plank and Side Plank. You're going to need a mat and the wall. I want to encourage you to work at your physical, mental, and emotional edge. If you forget what those are, go back to the lesson that I call Finding Your Edge in Navasana or Boat, where I explain it more thoroughly. We're going to do plank 3 ways, pretty easy. Full plank, forearm plank, and plank on your knees. So, full plank, fingers pointing toward the top of your mat, arms engaged, hands underneath your shoulders. If you have to have your bum up a little bit, no problem. Feet about as wide as your hips, but again, that depends on your core strength. You can't do plank without engaging your core, really. Forearm plank, same thing. I'd rather have your bum up a little bit if you need to. And then you have plank on your knees. Hands underneath your shoulders, you're on your knees. Perfect opportunity to bend and straighten. You can do this with a pulsing. Remember bellows breath. In fact, all of these poses you can hold and count your breaths, or you can pulse and use bellows breath, and you can go all the way down and all the way up. Totally up to you. So your next pose is side plank, full side plank. I'm going to have one foot in front of the other. It makes you more stable. You can also stack your feet, one on top of the other. Forearm, pretty easy. You can have your hand here to help if you want. You can hold your bum up. Again, remember you're counting your breath, or you can do a little pulse. So you can go all the way down and all the way up. Side plank, leg split. So I would have my legs more at a split and less one forward and one back. You can also go up and down. Depends on how you can get your mats arranged. You want to make sure that your feet don't slip. So you might need 2 mats to do a pose like that, more of a T shape. And then we have your leg up. This is where the wall is very handy. So I suggest that you put your leg up first, yeah, and then your hand. And if you're not at a real diagonal with your body, don't worry about it. That's with your leg up. All different versions. You're going to have that foot on your knee, so it looks more like tree pose. And what else are we doing? Look at my notes. Split. Oh, hold a pose. I guess I must have shown you 4 of them. Okay, now we're going to do back plank. Very confusing. 5 ways. Full back plank. This is the plank that a lot of yogis don't call plank. I do. So traditionally, I ask my students to put their fingers pointing toward their feet for back plank. So the reason I'm showing you sideways is because I'm going to show you 2 ways to do your feet. The first way is traditionally having your bum up so high that your feet are flat. Now that gets to be pretty hard on your calves and your thighs, but you can always try it. The other way is to let your feet roll out. And you can adjust your hands. If this doesn't work for your hands, bothers your wrist, you can have your hands out. You can even be on your fist. You can have your hands going back. That bothers my wrist. It's totally up to you. So if you let your feet come out, more of a turn to out instead of forward, it lets you concentrate more on your core and less on your legs, especially if you feel like you're going to get a cramp. So I'm going to let them turn out and come up. You can let your head drape back if you want. Again, you can pulse. You can go all the way down and all the way up. You can hold. I do not encourage you to use a timer because sometimes you push yourself over the edge trying to meet that measurement of time. So that was back plank full. One leg bent is another version. Say you want to practice getting that foot down, both feet down, but we're going to do it 1 leg at a time. So this leg is going to help this come up. So if I don't raise my bum high enough, my foot will not be flat on the ground. See? I have to keep going so my foot is flat. So again, you can go all the way down and all the way up. You can pulse at the top. You can hold. Of course, you got the other side to do, right? That's one leg bent. So forearm back plank, I find it really unusual, but because you can't go up very high. It's a huge workout, believe it or not, for your arms. And then of course there's table. So I put table in the same category as back planks. It's not a back plank, but I group it together when I'm teaching. So let's show you this way. Again, I've got my fingers pointing toward my feet, and it's just here. So there's a difference between table and what I call hammock. So some people are stuck here in the hammock. That's my fifth way, right? Some people can't get all the way up yet. You can also move this. So you can pulse your table at the top. You can go all the way down and all the way up. It's totally up to you. I believe I've showed you 5 ways to do this. At any rate, when you're done with this workout or this practice, you're going to feel that you've done something. If you don't feel like you've done something, you're not working to your edge. But the edge is a very fine line. Remember, you want to feel like you've done something and that you've worked, but you don't want to hurt yourself. So I use a timer when I teach just to keep everybody close to doing the same thing. But when you're doing it on your own, unless you find these poses really easy, I wouldn't set a timer for yourself, especially when you're just learning, because people have a tendency to be locked into the number, the time, and they push themselves over the edge and they think, if I could just hold a little bit longer, I can do this. And then what happens is you end up hurting yourself. So let your body guide you through this. Your body will tell you when you're at your physical edge. Your body will tell you when you're at your mental edge. If you're not at your mental edge, your mind's going to wander. You're going to think about other things. You'll be able to carry on a conversation while you're doing these poses, which is pretty much what I'm doing. And your emotional edge is what the reason you don't use a timer is because I want you to finish these with a sense of accomplishment. Even if you only were able to do it for a teeny tiny amount, not say to yourself, oh my gosh, how come I couldn't do it like I did yesterday? Once you label it and give it a number, then it becomes more intense. And I'm not saying that that isn't what your intention is, but if you're a beginner on these poses, you need to do baby steps, right? So anyway, thank you very much for tuning in. Namaste. Remember to subscribe to my channel, which is Queen Yoga Bee. And I appreciate you taking the time to work on this, and believe me, your body appreciates it. Namaste.